When I started this channel in 2018, its primary focus was on collecting vinyl records, primarily those by the Beatles. Although 7 years later we've made videos about other bands and other subjects, vinyl and collecting will always be at the heart of this channel. A few weeks ago, I came across this listing at a UK auction house. As you can see, the auction house used the usual tactic of positioning a couple of Beatles records front and centre to attract bidders. But what also caught my eye were some original shop bags. Now, from experience, this usually indicates that the records inside were well cared for and rarely played. And if you're a collector yourself, you'll know that in record collecting, condition is everything. Since this was a timed rather than a live auction, I placed my bid early and forgot about it. The next thing I knew, I received an email saying I'd won the lot for £50, which after commission came to £60.80, or around $82. Now, one of the challenges of buying such a lot is arranging its shipment from the UK. Some auction houses have efficient in-house shipping departments and are willing to handle it, but others are simply not set up for international shipping. This lot fell into the latter category, so I had to employ a third-party company, which in this case was the Leeds branch of a firm called Mailboxes, to collect, pack and ship it to me here in Austria. And I must say, they did a great job. The packing and shipping came to £80, which is more than I paid for the lot. Then add to that the €17 customs charge, took the total of this box up to £155.80, which is just over $212. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that this box contains any more Beatles records than the ones you see on the top, or indeed any other items of interest. So apologies in advance if it's filled with Jim Reeves and Engelbert Humperdinck records, but that's the risk I've taken. At least I'll have a few more original 1960s record shop bags to add to my collection, a video about which I made some time ago, and a link to that is in the description. As I go along, I'll put the current average value of each disc on the screen, along with a running total, and hopefully play you a few clips of the most interesting ones along the way. So that's enough talk, let's get into it. Nicely packaged as always from Mailboxes. Really well packed, and I use this, well, reuse this packing later on. Right, that's a little glimpse of what we've got ahead. Let's see what's in it. Let's see one here. I'm sure you can all see that. So let's get this out and have a look. Tempos of Time. It's an HMV EP. Let's have a look what's on here. So the Right Honourable Lord Brabazon of Tara, with the voices of Mary Lloyd, Enrica Caruso, Gracie Fields, Dick Bentley, George Formby, the King Brothers, Mussolini, Hitler and Churchill. Something for everybody there, I think. Interesting historical EP.
Listen to the rush of time. The beat of the years. Listen to time itself go by. Listen to the world when this century was born.
And our first single by Mike Hurst, the banjo song. Anyway, this is called the banjo song, backed with Any Chance for Me on Philips from 1963, that says. Oh, that was its sleeve. Yeah, okay, I'll reunite that with that later. This one has its sleeve. Bobby Allen covering the Hank Williams song Your Cheating Heart from 1962 on Fontana, backed with I'll Forget About You. Not familiar with that myself. Good. First of our record store bags. Suggs for all your discs. And that wasn't the Suggs from Madness. This is obviously a record shop in Leeds, in Boar Lane in Leeds, centre of Leeds. Has a Decca record in the middle there. Radio, television, record players. Anybody remember Suggs in Leeds? Do leave me a comment. I doubt if it's still there, but here's a bag from it. And inside we have a single on Pie by Lonnie Donegan. Sal's Got a Sugar Lip, recorded at the Royal Aquarium in Great Yarmouth with the Skiffle Group, and on the other side, B-side, Cheapskate Bay with Ian Menzies and his Clyde Valley Stompers. Of course, like most of the records in this box, I suspect this is in perfect condition. Looks like it left the shops yesterday, as I suspected with these record store bags. Here's a big bag of things. I think this is the auctioneer's sticker on it, which I'll take off. And yeah, looks like a package of Fontana singles. Very interesting. I wonder if they're all the same. Let's see. There's a Philips one in there too. Let's take the bag off. Just a plain brown bag, as some record stores would use. Not everyone had the money or were big enough to have their own ones printed. Let's have a look what we've got inside this stack of Philips Fontana singles. They were all the same company. Fontana was manufactured by Philips back then. Okay, so Anne Shelton, My Continental Love with Wally Stott and his band, and The End of the World from 1963. Don't need to check the condition. As you can see, it's absolutely perfect. No, they're not all the same, because here's Maisie McDaniel and Christmas Candles from 1962, backed with Sweetheart or Friend. Don't know any of these. I quite like some of these type of singles, so it'll be interesting to listen to them. Roger Whittaker, I wonder if that was Roger Whittaker before he went with his full name. That was Butterfly, and on the other side is Times is Tough, 1963.
You tell me you love me, you say you'll be true, then you fly around with somebody new, but I'm crazy about you, you butterfly.
This is Chaquito and his orchestra, One Note Samba, Bossa Nova, and Mexicana on the other side from 1962. This one's got mixed up. Fontana, Philips record and Fontana sleeve. Linda Graham, You Better Believe It, from 1964. Backed with That's the Last Thing I'd Do.
Won't let you go. You better believe it. I got what I do. I know what else to do. I just love. You better
This is David Lisbon, Ton Up, from 1962, backed with Julie's piano. These are all new to me. This one's on Fontana from 1964, Joanne and Jimmy, with accompaniment directed by Les Reed, Everybody Knows, and I Still Love You. Next up is My Wife Can't Cook by Lonnie Russ from 1962. Something old, something new. Okay.
So let me tell you, my wife,
His wife, she can
Lord, if I thought she could read, I would find her a book. But all she knows how to do is a fuss and holler. She don't even know how to boil water. Let me tell you what.
The Rooftop Singers. Oh, I've heard of those. But this isn't Walk Right In. It's Mama Don't Allow from 1963, backed with It Don't Mean a Thing. Maybe we'll come across Walk Right In shortly. This one's got a polylined sleeve. Let's see if we can see what it is. It's Eileen Duffy, There's Always Tomorrow, backed by Wally Stott, and Better Loved, You'll Never Be, from 1963. The Caravels, I've heard of them. You Are Here, 1964, backed with How Can I Be Sure?
You are here, and the rain is falling down, but it's not a lonely town now that you are here.
This one is called, again it's in a plastic inner sleeve, Send Me the Pillow by Frank Kelly and the Hunters from 1962, backed with something that looks like Accept Me on the other side. This one is by Mike Desmond with accompaniment directed by Johnny Keating from 1962, Please Remember Me, backed with Hold My Hand. Yeah, I just love how these are. Absolutely perfect. Bet you won't find these on Spotify or CD, as a matter of fact. This one is from 1962 by The Echoes. A. Saxon wrote the song called Cloak and Dagger. I'm guessing that is Al Saxon, who was a vocalist from that time. And the other side is The Echoes Sound Like Winter. M. Murray, maybe Mitch Murray. Okay, 1964, Roses by Jacqueline and Bridie. The other side, you've got Roving Jack. Okay, CBS. This is a 1964 single by Kenny Rankin called Where Did My Little Girl Go? And the other side is US Mail. Okay. The Avons. Maybe is that the same Avons as did Seven Little Girls Singing in the Backseat, Sitting in the Backseat? I don't know. Anyway, they're on Fontana here. Bit of paper from 1964. I Am the Girl. And Once Upon a Summer. Anybody who recognises any of these songs, please drop me a comment and tell me something about them, because a lot of them are new to me at this point. Johnny Towers from 1963, This Kind of Love, written by Jerry Lorden, who wrote Apache for the Shadows, of course. The other side's by him as well, called My First Romance, Johnny Towers. Orchestra directed by Wally Stott. That's this one, Gary and the Aerials, Say You Love Me, from 1964. And the other side is Town Girl.
Say you love me, baby. Say you love me. Say you love me, baby. Say you love me. Say you love the things I do. Say you'll always be true. Oh, say you love me, baby. And I'll say I love you.
Dick James music. So that's published by Beatles publisher Dick James. And last off in this packet, we've got Ron Grainer from the Anglo-amalgamated film Some People from 1962. This is Johnny's tune. Don't know that film, don't know the music either. Yeoman's Parade is on the other side. That's from the film Some People as well. The London Wind Symphony. Okay. It's not often I go through a packet of 60s records, 60s singles, and know less than like a few. Very unusual. We've got Brunswick single here by Julie Andrews, Thoroughly Modern Millie from 1967. And Jimmy on the other side from the film, from the same film. Pristine condition, just a bit of dust. Right, we've got a Boots bag here. Nice to see her. Boots had record departments in all their big stores from 1,300 branches. There's branches in George Street, Plymouth, Woodbridge in Suffolk, Oxford Street, Swansea, Deansgate in Bolton. There's one in Swiss Cottage, in North West London, one in Richmond, George Street, and one in High Street, Slough. In this bag. I've got a feeling the bag's going to be more interesting than the record. Yes, it's our first Jim Reeves record. Fantastic. There's A Heartache Following Me. Backed with Diamonds in the Sand from 1964. Don't think that's the last we're going to be seeing of Mr. Reeves in this box. Here's an interesting bag anyway. This is one I spotted in the photograph. Montserrat. Is that Montserrat? Who knows? I don't know. Montserrat. Very unusual bag. Nope, this is a foreign record. Escolania de Montserrat. Okay, and there it is. It's an EP from Montserrat in Spain. Whoop. There it goes. Here's an interesting bag. Record bar, kiosk. That screams 1960s. Very interesting. Never seen that before. What's it got inside? It's got a Chapter 1 single. Right, okay. It's the Leeds United football team and supporters, Leeds from 1972, when they were the big team around. On the other side, Leeds United. Yeah, oh dear. Fantastic. Football song fans will be very pleased to see that. I'm a Liverpool supporter myself. Big rivals with Leeds at the time. Here's another bag. I've seen this symbol before on some of my bags. This is like a generic symbol on some British record shop bags at the time. This is from Bell Royal Radio in St Helier in Jersey, in Channel Islands. Inside we've got Fabulous Frankie. Frankie Vaughan, there he is, with his ladies on his shoulder. With one of his big hits, Tower of Strength, Rachel Don't Stop, Twist, and Red Red Roses. I often hear this song on Sounds of the 60s on the BBC on Saturday mornings. Tony Blackburn often plays it. Tower of Strength, the great Frankie Vaughan. Great British vocalist of the late 1950s. Let's see what we've got coming up there, but let's deal with this first. Mungo Jerry and his big hit, In the Summertime. Huge #1 hit in Britain in 1970. Very unusual because it was released as an EP with The Mighty Man on the same side and Dust Pneumonia Blues on the other side. He's still going strong, Mungo Jerry. Check him out on social media. I think he's still very active. Here we go with, our first sort of really pop single. This is the Bee Gees, Massachusetts, from 1967. Really beautiful copy of that. Great sounding mono single, backed with Barker of the UFO. Of course, from 1967. Beautiful copy. Into 1967 by the looks of it. This is, let's take it out of the, no, I can't take it out of the sleeve because it's got this plastic thing on. I'll take it out of the plastic. Don't like to keep things in plastic. Let's put it back in the sleeve. Okay, this is duo David and Jonathan. Oh My Word. That's the B-side. Lovers of the World Unite was, of course, the A-side from 1966. An Air production, so George Martin Studios. George Martin produced. Or maybe not. Here we have what we saw in the picture. This is the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, and as I suspected, it's a beautiful looking copy. There's a bit of storage wear on the back there, but it's a mono copy, which is good. With its original inner sleeve. Oh, look. Oh, even better. We've got the original receipt from Boots. Let's see if we can read it. So 19 shillings and sixpence, which would have been this, I think. Something else for 7 shillings and 4.5 pence. No, does it have a date on it? March, M-A-R. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at it and trying to show you at the same time. March the 6th. So that's probably March the 6th, 1968, because this obviously came out in December 67. So there we go. It's pretty dusty, but, you know, looking at the centres, that hasn't been played very much at all. Once or twice. And again on that side too. So I'll carefully put that back in that little time capsule copy. Still got its blue lyric sheet in the middle. Bit of rust coming through on the staples, as all these have. And the other one is a push-out centre, not a solid centre. Again, played a couple of times. And just regular dust. Nothing serious at all. Beautiful. Really nice copy. Lovely corners too. Excellent. Good. Right, well, let's dig down into this pile here. I think that might be the only Beatles single we're getting. Oh, no, there was another one, because there was another one in the picture, wasn't there? So this is Lita Rosa from 1959, Allentown Jail, backed with Once in a While. I like to find stickers on records, especially price stickers. Shoppers Fair, 2 and 6, 2 shillings and sixpence. That was. Palette, another budget label. This is A-side. Again, this is Shoppers Fair. So I guess it was a cheap record when this person bought it. This is Obsession by Red Jorin and his orchestra. It's a Palette USA recording. And on the other side is Sunday Morn. Palette was a budget label after all. This one is, okay, can you see that? This is the Adams Singers, the Daughter of the King from 1959, backed with Secret Star. Going to have a great listening session later on. Okay, A-side. That's the A-side. Mickey and Griff, they were a big noise in the late 50s, early 60s. This is from 1962, and The Tears Break Out of Me. Accompaniment directed by Tony Hatch. I Wonder Where You Are Tonight is the B-side. On Pie. Pie were a very easy listening label at this time. Gary Miller, Marina, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me. Gary Miller on the other side, both directed by Wally Stott. And as predicted, more Jim. This is Wishful Thinking and It Hurts So Much to See You Go from 1965. Another one, Anne-Marie, and of course his big hit, I Love You Because, from 1963. Old Tie from 1966, 2 years after he died, and another big hit of his, Distant Drums. Huge hits they were. What have we got here? Something on Vogue Pop. This is the Olympics and Working Hard, recorded by RV in Hollywood. And I wish I could shimmy like my sister Kate. Again, another bargain record at Shoppers Fair, 2 and 6. Melodisc was a unusual label at that time. This is ABC Television presents the fabulous Talbot Brothers from the Mayfair Hotel. She's Got Freckles. On the other side, Bloodshot Eyes.
She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice.
She is nice.
And when she's in my arms, it's paradise.
Paradise.
Although she smells just like a rose, from her hair down to her toes, she's got freckles on her butt, she is nice.
She is nice.
Paints a pretty picture, Bloodshot Eyes and freckles. Here we go with Reg Owen, and this is Raunchy. This is Raunchy, I'm sure of it. And Kazoo on the other side, on this impossible to read Pie label, which I think is 1959. More Pie. A-side, Madison Time by the John Warren's Strict Tempo Combo from 1960, backed with Make Mine Madison. A slow jive, that is, if you're wondering. Josh McRae, Never Never Man, 1961. And he's on the other side with Arkansas Rambler. I feel like a DJ going at double time here. Very odd. B.A. On the Pie International label, Jimmy Darren. This is a Colpix recording, and Angel Face from, let's see, 1959, I think that looks. I Don't Want to Lose You. Let's have a closer look. I can't see in that light. 59, yes. Okay, Pie Jazz. Yeah, I think this person must have bought all these records at this Shoppers Bar. I don't know if that was a budget record shop or not. I don't know. If you know, let me know. This is Bob Wallace and his Storyville Jazzmen. Yellow, Yellow Moon. That's the B-side from 1962. The A-side was Climb the Apples. In Cockney rhyming slang, the apples was the stairs. The apples and pears. Climb the apples and pears, climb the stairs. Tony Allen is next from 1961, and When Love Comes to Call. And My Happiness on the other side.
What's your name?
I'm Mr. Happiness.
Mr. Happiness.
Since you gave your love to me, I've never been so happy. The day you came, I changed my name to Mr. Happiness.
Mr. Happiness.
The Clevelands, Little Girl in Calico from 1964. I don't know the Clevelands. And that is Everything Is Fine on the other side.
Little girl, little girl, you ought to be my wife for the rest of my life, my little girl in calico. But who's that walking down there looking like a dream from head to toe? With her hair piled high and a roving eye, a little girl in calico. Little girl in calico, little girl in calico. With her hair piled high and a roving eye, a little girl in calico. Little girl.
What have we got here? Sounds of Les and Mitch. Les Reed and Mitch Murray, obviously. Why Can't We Love from 1963. and Don't Wake Me Up. They wrote those as well. Difficult to see with that plastic on. What's this? 6 Hit, another rhythm production. So this is like a budget covers record by an unknown group. Oh, that's really filthy. Oh, gosh, I'm going to be wearing gloves for some of these. It's an extended play, and it's got some Beatles songs on it. Can't Buy Me Love, Little Children, Theme for Young Lovers, and Tell Me When, the Applejacks, Just One Look, and That Girl Belongs to Yesterday, Jagger Richards song. So that's a sort of covers band. You can buy these sort of records at budget stores, which I think this person did. Most of these records, maybe most of these records were like discounted and cheap or, you know, record shop returns. So obviously sold nothing and were very cheap. So this person bought them. Frank Kelly and the Hunters, 1963. I Saw Linda Yesterday. So one of these actually might be worth some money. I don't know. I'm going to spend an age looking them up later. Frank Kelly and the Hunters again, and Good and True from 1963. If you do recognise any of these, as I said before, drop me a comment. The K Sisters, Big Wide World, and I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. I think Eric Morecambe refers to the K Sisters when the Beatles were on the Morecambe and Wise show. He said it's the K Sisters when they came on. And here's a record by the K Sisters. That's who he was talking about. This is another one on Phillips. This is from 1963. This Kind of Love, another Jerry Lorden song by Johnny Towers, and My First Romance. Have we had that already? I can't remember. They're all beginning to look the same. Here's a song by Gordy Lightfoot. Oh, that must have been Gordon Lightfoot later on. It must have been his first record. This is recorded in Nashville, 1963, Negotiations. On the other side, It's Too Late, He Wins.
Baby, let's get together for negotiations and have a little summit talk. Last night we had a nuclear blow-up and I'm still suffering from shock. Let's sign a treaty, we'll have no more fights, 'cause I don't want another battle like last night. Let's get together for negotiations and have a little summit talk.
These are getting dirtier and dirtier. Patti Lynn, Tell Me Telstar, 1962. Telstar was all the rage then. That was when the Tornadoes had their hit. Patti Lynn and Big Big Love.
Tell me, Telstar, high up above. Telstar, Telstar, where is my love? Show my picture just for him to see. I am waiting, he's the boy for me.
Interesting. Song about Telstar. I thought there was only one. Obviously not. Right, here's a mystery. Let's get it in focus. Group X, Roti Calliope. Calliope? Pronounced Calliope. There you go. Crossbeat, Group X. What is this? Group X, 1962. Very interesting. Sixpence. So obviously that's a cheap record too. So obviously it didn't sell anything. Right, something on Parlophone. What have we got here? Let's Let's see, can you see that? That's Bernard Cribbins, British comedian, and Verily, and The Bird on the Second Floor.
A dolly old moon's gonna shine tonight. Whichever way you look at it, I'm alright. Waiting for the bird on the second floor.
Hole in the Ground and Right Said Fred were also on Parlophone. George Martin produced. Did he produce that one? Another huge group in the 60s were the Bachelors. This is one of the big hits, Diane. Backed with The Stars Will Remember. More palette singles, another palette single. This one is by someone called Monty Babson, Mama Darling. Backed with It All Began With You. This is from 1961. More palette. This is something called the Boxeros, El Señor Ping Pong from 1961. Backed with Y Viva El Cha-Cha-Cha. Okay. Frankie Vaughan's back here on Philips. Focus. Loop de Loop from 1963. And There'll Be No Teardrops Tonight. You hope. Okay, here's a single on Pie. Searchers. This looks a bit beaten up. What Have They Done to the Rain from 1964. And the B-side of that was this Feeling Inside. It's quite a sizable hit for the Searchers, not as well known as maybe Sugar and Spice, etc. And of course they famously finished their career off at Glastonbury a few weeks ago with Paul McCartney in attendance. Let's see, this one is on Embassy again, The Pearls, He's So Fine, and Scarlett O'Hara by Bud Ashton and his group. They were covering popular chart hits at the time. What have we got here? Be My Girl by Tony Dunning and the Tremolos, 1959. I wonder if that was the Tremolos. 17 Tomorrow. Don't know either of those. Can't be this sort of collection without having a bit of Mantovani and his orchestra, Rick Shaw, and Summer Night from 1962. The Reg Owen Strings, Teen Dreams from 1961. Again, this was 1 and 11 pence. Quite cheap for a single. Bye Bye Blackbird. Probably the traditional Bye Bye Blackbird. Another covers single here on Embassy. This is Mike Redway doing the Freddie and the Dreamers song, If You Gotta Make a Fool of Somebody, and Kay Barry on the other side singing It's My Party. Originally sung by Leslie Gore, of course. Very popular duo at the time were Jet Harris and Tony Meehan. This is Applejack. And on the other side, The Tall Texan. Vince Taylor from 1961 on Palette. What You Gonna Do? Backed with Move Over Tiger.
What you gonna do?
Well, when she cries her last goodbyes, are you gonna hang your head and cry? What you gonna do when your baby leaves you? What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Let's see, is that going to fall down? Oh, we'll take it as it comes. Blue Beat, Blue Beat record. Could be interesting. Beresford Ricketts and the Blue Beats. Better You Be Gone from 1962. I've Been Walking is on the other side. Melodisc Records.
You better be gone. You better be gone, little baby. I'm coming home. Coming home.
Lonnie Donegan and Max Miller. There we go. Two titans of the entertainment industry back in 1962. Titbits and The Market Song on Pie. Probably live somewhere. Joe Brown on Pie from 1961. I think Joe Brown's still going, isn't he? Good old Joe. On the other side, you've got the switch. Not sure if you can see that. The switch. I can't see what that is. I'll have to take it out of this makeshift plastic inner sleeve. Somebody wanted to look after their records. This is the Kirby Stone 4 and Kids. The Honey Dripper on the other side. Another Embassy cover record. Mike Redway doing It's Almost Tomorrow, backed with This Boy by the Typhoons. I think the Typhoons were the first officially to cover a Beatles song. I'm not sure with this one. I think it was Love Me Do. But This Boy, this was the Typhoons. This is from 1963, of course.
That boy took my love away.
Another copy of Loop de Loop by Frankie Vaughan. That's the same. There'll be no teardrops tonight. Yeah. Another copy of that. Must have really liked that. Let's see. Macadopoulos in the Streets of Athens and Festival Allegrezza. Greek, obviously. Another cover here, Good Golly Miss Molly, which was covered at this point, I think, by the Swinging Blue Jeans, 1964. The Jaybirds were doing it here, and Mike Redway was on the back doing A World Without Love, Peter and Gordon. I'm going to stand those up this way. Right, the Springfields. It's the Springfields, can you see that? Let's just get out of the way. There we go. Let's take it out. I kept it in this nice plastic sleeve. The Springfields, Come On Home. Backed with Pitter Pat. Dusty Springfield was with them, of course. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Embassy again, Del Martin doing I Love You Because. Jim Reeves song, which I've seen already. And on the other side, the Jaybirds doing Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't buy me love, love, can't buy me love. I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I get you anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. But I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love.
Okay, this is an interesting folder. Twist, Humphrey Lyttelton and his band, Swinging on the Gate, and Jeannie with the light brown hair. Yeah, this record comes to you from the makers of Summer Country Margarine, a rainbow record. Inside, it's nothing to do with him at all. Oh, it's actually, yes, here it is. It's, yeah, a great new jazz record, specially arranged and produced for you by the Humphrey Lyttelton Band. Here's how to play it. Tear off this page along the dotted line and the record is then ready to play. Do not remove the plastic film. Okay, it's just falling off. So there's the record on this very thin plastic film, which you're not supposed to remove, but it's obviously the glue is disintegrated. Tear along the dotted line and whack it on your turntable. Okay, little early promotional flexi disc there from the early 60s, which was enclosing a copy of Twist Party Part 1 by Winifred Atwell, and Twist Party Part 2 is on the back. Great ragtime pianist, Winifred Atwell. The Jaybirds doing the Four Pennies Juliet on that record, and Here I Go Again, the Hollies song covered by the Jaybirds. Anybody knows exactly who the Jaybirds were? Do let me know. Mike Redway and the Beatmen were doing Brian Paul and the Tremolos' Someone Someone on this 1964 disc, and Paul Rich was doing Ramona. Getting into more pop territory now. This is Herman's Hermits, A Must to Avoid from 1966, backed with The Man with the Cigar. It's very, very dirty, it's so filthy. My hands are absolutely yuck. What have we got now? We've got Ferry Across the Mersey by Jerry and the Pacemakers, backed with You from 1964 in its original Columbia sleeve. Oh, that's a surprise to see. This is the Kinks, Tired of Waiting for You, 1965 single, backed with Come On Now. Again, looks to be played just a couple of times, just a bit of 60-year-old dirt that a good clean on the Lorrycraft can take care of. Dave Berry, I've Got a Tiger by the Tail from 1965, backed with his big hit, or the A-side of his big hit was Little Things. And Ian Watson has helpfully written his name all over that label. Aha! Another record bag. This is a grand but faded one. Top of the Hit Parade records: Peter Hall, Selby, Gould and Doncaster. I love this candy stripe bag they used to use. Let's see what it's got inside. It's got a Blue Beat record inside it. Let's take it out of this makeshift paper. B-side, A-side. This is Hey Diddle Diddle, Sir Dee's group, K. Brown. 1961, this is marked as being. Pocket Money on the other side by Sir Dee's group, Mossman and ZZ. No idea what that's about or who they are, but I will find out. Oh, hello Beatles. Oh dear. Seems as though we're getting into really filthy territory. Oh, but that's nice. That's a surprise. That's a really unusual solid centre copy of Long Tall Sally. That's quite rare on its own. Very unusual to see solid centre EPs of this. Yes. So, never mind about the sleeve, which is extremely, extremely filthy, but a lovely collectible solid centre copy of Long Tall Sally. Very good. Right, let's see. Here's another interesting envelope. This is, if undelivered, returned to Van den Bergs Limited, Kildare House, Dorset Rise, London, EC4. Summer County Margarine again. Okay, so another promotional thing inside, if I can get it out. There she is, Doris Day and Tony Bennett. This is a special disc produced for that margarine. Doris Day sings Do Re Mi from Sound of Music, and Tony Bennett sings Climb Every Mountain. Probably not focusing, not macro enough. Never mind. Kenny Baker, Jacqueline from 1961, backed with Blue Ice on the palette label. Fontana, it's the Trogs, one of their big hits, With a Girl Like You from 1966, backed with I Want You. Good old Rich Presley. Pristine, but dirty. Dirt you can fix, scratches you can't. Let's see. This one is a solid centre Fontana from 1963 by Sue Thompson, a Hickory Records recording called Willie Can. The other side, Too Much in Love. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. Sounds quite exciting. What's this? Art Cinder. And it's piano and orchestra. Just a Simple Cliche from 1963, backed with Mountain Laurel. Doesn't sound so exciting. Oh, there's an Apple single here. Looks like a CBS pressing of Hey Jude and Revolution. in its original cover. Very dirty. Very, very dirty. But interesting contract pressing of Hey Jude by the Beatles. What's this? This isn't 60s, it's Virgin. It's not the Sex Pistols. It's Mike Oldfield and Portsmouth. His big tunes from 1976. Here's a record bag, a plain one though. This is a single by The Hustlers, Gimme What I Want from 1963, and on the other side there's Not Much, also by The Hustlers.
Gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme. Gimme what I want. Gimme what I want. Gimme what I want from you, girl. You know it's your love I want. Don't be unkind. Gimme what I want. Gimme what I want. Gimme what I want. Please do, girl. You know it's your love I want, for I lose my mind.
The high-lows all over the place. They are, aren't they? This is on Philips, an EP. Orchestra directed by Marty Pach, whatever. Ah, here's someone I recognise. Tommy Steele, another legend who's still going strong. What a mouth, as he'd say, with Harry Robinson in his orchestra. What have we got on here? We've got, let's get it in focus. Watermouth, Kookaburra, Hollering and Screaming, and Little Darling. Apologies if that wasn't all in perfect focus. Okay, The Drifters. That's a nice EP. The Drifters' Greatest Hits on London Atlantic. That's nice. Save the Last Dance for Me. On one side with This Magic Moment and I Count the Tears and Dance With Me. Really nice. From 1960. Don't see that EP very often. Very good. Another EP. Not so good though. This is Scottish Country Dancing. On the Paxton label. From 1959. 13 shillings. And lots of Scottish country dances. Just Vera. There she is. Sweetheart of the Forces. Vera Lynn. On the Triangle Decca. If Yesterday Could Come Again, Faraway Places as Time Goes By, and It's Always You. From June 1959. Just Vera. And there she is again. Vera Lynn's Sing-Along Party. All the classics on there, from Shine on Harvest Moon to Unchained Melody. Again, lovely triangle centered Decca. This one from November 1959, 557. The Victor Feldman Quartet, A Taste of Honey, from 62. Yes, That Taste of Honey, and Valerie on the other side. Philips. Some nice bags here now. I've seen this one before. This bag anyway. Suggs for all your discs in Ball Lane in Leeds. And here we have the Allisons, Sweet and Lovely from 1962, and Sugar Love. This one's actually signed by the Allisons, the twins. They were twins. That's nice. It's a nice thing to have. Wasn't their biggest hit, I don't think. Another one from Suggs. Oh, and we've got some Elvis. This one is One Broken Heart for Sale. That's a very good song. I like that. From It Happened at the World's Fair from 1963. On the other side, They Remind Me Too Much of You. That's quite a good tune from Elvis. Huh? Another one. This one is Sue Thompson, another Hickory sound recording from 1962. James, Hold the Ladder Steady by John D. Loudermilk. On the other side, My Hero, That's What You Are, 62. Another Boots bag, a bit cleaner than the last one. Yes, of course, it's Jim. Is It Really Over? And That's a Sad Affair from 1965. If it's RCA, it's going to be Jim or Elvis. Another RCA in this one. What do you reckon? Jim or Elvis? Yep, you're right, it's Jim. Stranger's Just a Friend. A Stranger's Just a Friend. Oh, no. A Stranger's Just a Friend from the film Kimberly Jim. And I Won't Forget You from 1964. Right, I've got a case here, a record case. That's really nice. Nothing in it, unfortunately. You'd write your records there. This would hold 20 singles in that sleeve, and you could take them where you wanted to. Has that old plastic smell. Oh, something else in here. Also, to store your records. The disc rack, or mini disc rack. This would hold 40 records. Plus this one would be 80. Pop your records in here. That would not be so good for them if it was hot where you lived. And finally, in this box, we've got a case, a vinyl case, very dirty vinyl case, with some singles in it. I'm sure you recognise the first one from the picture. This is Eleanor Rigby, Yellow Submarine, Beatles. Dirty but nice. Oh, another Parlophone one. Another Beatles single. Right, now we're getting into it. I'll say the best till last. All You Need Is Love, Baby You're a Rich Man. Second issue here with the recorded during the live world television transmission text printed on it, but nice copy of all the same. Another Beatles single coming thick and fast now. Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields. No picture sleeve, unfortunately, but it's a bit of a scratch there. Never mind, Beatles single's a Beatles single. And one more, Lady Madonna. And oh, yes, it does have the fan club application form inside, which initial copies did come with. That's very nice to see. It hasn't been sent away for because the bottom part is still there. And of course on the B side of Lady Madonna is the Inner Light. It's nice, don't see too many of these fan club application forms anymore. A Oriole pressed copy of I Feel Fine, She's a Woman. And not quite as pristine as the other records. Pretty average, I'd say. But you can't really tell until you've got all the dirt off. Here we go. We Can Work It Out. Day Tripper. Later pressing with the gramophone rims. Earlier ones had Parlophone rims. Hello, Goodbye. I Am the Walrus. That's a pretty decent looking single, condition-wise. Well, that seems to be the end of the Beatles, maybe, maybe not. Silhouettes. Oh, Ian Watson's been here again. Backed with Can't You Hear My Heartbeat from 1965. Yeah, more Beatles, great. Paperback Writer and Rain. What a great single that is. And not in bad shape. Not in bad shape. As again, difficult to tell with the dirt on it. These look to be like the Sun's records. Ivy League, Funny How Love Can Be, and Lonely Room. Yeah, these were probably Ian Watson's singles. He was and the other singles were their parents, maybe. Manfred Mann, Just Like a Woman, and I Want to Be Rich from 1966. Doesn't look too bad. early Parlophone single. Bernard Cribbins again. Winklepicker Shoes and Hole in the Ground, one of his big hits, along with Right Said Fred at that time, 1962. Lulu. There we go. She was on stage at Glastonbury as well recently. Look Out. Mickey Mouse production, of course, from 67. Sorry, 68. Manfred Mann from 65, Come Tomorrow. And What Did I Do Wrong? Different fonts. On Decca we have, The Small Faces, Understanding. And the other side is, yes, of course you know, but I'm going to show you, get it out of this horrible, gosh, I can't, okay. So of course, All or Nothing from 66. The Battle of the Highgate Children. Not sure who they are. The Battle of Highgate Hill from 1963 with Pity the Poor Pedestrian on the B-side. More cover version action here with Hank Rogers and Deck of Cards, the Wink Martindale song, and Atlantis by Bud Ashton and his group, 1963. More palette. Dickie Loader, Heatwave vocal, and there he is again with Happiness on the other side from 1961.
Well, I met a pretty girl just the other night, the prettiest thing I've ever seen. And when she held my hand, I got a feeling so grand, I got a whole lot of shaking inside. You know, I felt like a heat wave. I was a falling all over a heat wave. I was a shaking all over a heat wave. I was a sweating all over, though it could be mighty cool outside. Yeah, 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 heat wave, a heat wave. I said a heat wave, baby, but it could be mighty cool outside.
More Embassy action. Secret Love, Joan Baxter singing Doris Day, and Bud Ashton and his group singing Maria Elena from 1963. More Kinks. Can't have enough Kinks. Where Have All the Good Times Gone? 1965 was the B-side of, yep, Till the End of the Day. On Pie. The Columbia single is another Herman's Hermits, Wonderful World, which was the other side of Dream On. Is it Jim? No, it's not Jim. It's John D. Loudermilk. Angela Jones from 1962 and Roadhog. And last, and probably least, the Brown Brothers. Beautiful Brown Eyes on Philips from 1960. There we go. Oh, The Green Leaves of Summer from the film The Alamo. Well, that is the most eclectic box of singles I've seen in a long time. Something for everybody there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking through it. I'm going to clean them and play them and enjoy them. And a lot of entertaining hours await. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for your support and thank you for watching.
What do you mean she's not in? Hey, don't close the door!